The first criminal defendants, potentially of many, have been released from jail because even after waiting, they don't have access to court-appointed attorneys. The attorneys are on a work stoppage as they protest what the state pays them. As WBZ's Christina Rex reports, if this goes on any longer, some of these defendants, including some charged with violent crimes, could have their cases thrown out altogether.
All right, happy to be out?
Yes, sir.
That's Deshaun Lawrence, walking out of court a free man for now.
Good morning, Mr. Lawrence.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Minutes before, he was cuffed, and he's facing drug distribution charges. Lawrence was released because for more than 7 days, he was not represented by a lawyer.
I got arrested, and I didn't have no actual legal aid, like I said, to defend me, my rights. And I was really frustrated because I lost a lot.
In court in Boston Monday, 4 criminal defendants were released, including a woman charged with distributing drugs and a man accused of choking his partner. Hundreds more could be released in the coming weeks. Why? Because the state's highest court ruled that any defendant without a lawyer for 7 days or more must be set free.
This is an absolute crisis. 20% of the lawyers can't take 80% of the case, 100% of the cases.
Right now, only full-time public defenders are working. Usually, they take only about 20% of cases, and private attorneys known as bar advocates take the remaining 80% of court-appointed work. But they stopped working after Memorial Day in protest of poor pay and declining staff.
This has clearly reached a critical stage. It's reached an emergency stage. We need to fix this in order to keep qualified lawyers in this industry, in this practice, and then also to attract and recruit more.
In the meantime, defendants like Brittany DeGrassa, accused of distributing drugs, are back out on the street.
Really grateful because without the lawyers, I'd probably still be in there, honestly.
The situation is frustrating for lawyers and judges who have to release criminal defendants because of staffing issues.
Unfortunately, we haven't found anyone willing to take the cases.
Not one person. You're reporting to the court that not one private attorney will accept a case.
That's correct.
It's up to the legislature to raise the pay rate for bar advocates to get them back to work. Now, just last week, Governor Healey signed this year's budget into law with no pay raise listed. These hearings will continue for the foreseeable future, and they start in Middlesex County this Wednesday. In Boston, Christina Rex, WBZ News.
Welcome to another episode of Insanity That Makes Sense. Well, Massachusetts has done it again. They are probably the most liberal, bluest state in the United States. They make California look like the conservative state in the Union. They have finally lost their minds. My prediction has come true, and I stated this a while back when I said all of these public defenders that are being so altruistic and helping all these illegal immigrants go against the system and representing them in court for no fee or low money, I predicted that they were going to stop doing God's work and helping these immigrants would dry up when the money dried up. No one wants to defend these people. They all have these beautiful values and how the immigrants deserve a day in court and how they deserve their due process. But when the money dries up, all of these high-powered attorneys and all these people, they're running for the hilt. So how do they solve this problem in Massachusetts? Instead of paying these people more money to help these people, they said, we're not paying. So now these lawyers aren't representing these criminals, okay? And not just the immigrants, any criminal. So they're saying that if you can't get an attorney, instead of putting them in jail and leaving them there for 60 days or 100 days or whenever, they're just letting them go. Does that solve any problem? That's Massachusetts for you. They're out of their minds. They're just going to let these criminals go. Okay? So if you happen to be lucky enough to not have any money, not have any assets, can't afford an attorney, they're simply going to let you go. So basically, they're saying that if you get upset with your wife and you can't stand her anymore, you can basically just kill her. Okay? Slice her up, throw her in a dumpster, and if you happen to be lucky enough to have had her steal all your money, you show up in court, you tell the judge, I can't afford an attorney. I'm broke. I have no money for alimony. I have no money for child support. And instead of them putting you in jail for life, Massachusetts just says, fine, Can't afford an attorney? You're all set, go home. So that's a good incentive to kill your wife in a divorce trial. It's not a bad idea. So, driving down the street drunk, having a couple pops of JD, a couple of Johnny Walker Blacks, shit-faced, you kill a family of 5. Mother, father, family of 3, little kids, no problem. Cops pull you over. License and registration person. Fuck you, I don't care. Here's my license and registration. Have a nice day. Get out of the car, sir. Whatever. I'll walk a fucking crooked line. I'll say the ABCs backwards or whatever you want me to do. They arrest you. Who cares? I don't own a house. I don't have any money in my 401k. I don't got nothing. I go to court on Monday morning. The judge says, Mr. Capilupo, tell me about yourself. Yeah, I don't have anything. I got no money. Can't afford an attorney. What does the judge say to me? Lose your license for 6 months? Yeah, whatever. Throws me in the can. Can't afford an attorney. So guess what? 5 people dead. That's it. I can't afford an attorney, so guess what? Massachusetts law says if I can't afford an attorney within 30 days, I go free. That's beautiful. So from now on, forget about it. You can do anything you want in Massachusetts, and if you say you can't afford an attorney, you're going free. It's the open fucking business in here. Massachusetts has lost their minds, and I love it. Rob a liquor store, rob a bank, kill anybody you want. Massachusetts is going to let you go in 30 days because you happen to be lucky enough to be broke. It's beautiful. The country is just great. So here's the tip. If you don't own anything in your name, anywhere, it's the best thing to do. Take everything out of your name. Put it in a trust. Don't let anybody have any money, and you are ruling the country. Okay? It's better to have no money at all than to have money anywhere in your name. Okay? Now, how would I solve the problem if I was the governor of the state? Okay? This is how I solve the problem. You know that thing called the Miranda rights? This is what I would say. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. If you can't afford an attorney, instead of it saying one will be appointed for you, my new law in Massachusetts would say, you're out of luck. If you can't afford an attorney, you should have stole enough money to afford one, because we no longer appoint an attorney for you. Okay? Give these freaking criminals enough incentive to steal more. Okay? Because we're no longer flipping the bill. The gravy train is over. No one's giving you any money to afford an attorney. That's bullshit. It only gives these people the incentive to be broke. Give these people the freaking incentive to make money. That's the American dream. The streets are paved with gold. If you're gonna be a lawyer or you're gonna be a business owner, you don't wake up in the morning and say, I'm opening the store to lose money. You say, I'm gonna open a store to make money. So if you're gonna be a criminal, be incentivized to make money. Make money just in case you need an attorney so you can get off. But this law in Massachusetts is only making people want to be poor. So Massachusetts, you are out of your minds. You're letting people go and giving people a pat on the back for killing people. So way to go, Massachusetts. You've done it again. You're a bunch of idiots. And good luck with your new law. I hope you're going to let people dance down the sidewalk out of prison just because they don't have 6 cents to rub together. I hope you enjoyed my episode today. Catch me the next time. And don't forget to subscribe to my station. Insanity that makes sense. Catch you next time.